PJ is a dynamic speaker who will knock your socks off. She'll give you valuable content that will totally blow you away.
What I love most about PJ, she's authentic, she's a giver, she makes a difference, and she takes action, and she's a make a difference kind of person, and she's someone you want to have in your Rolodex.
PJ is a contribution to humanity, and I hope one day that I too can be a contribution in the same way that PJ is.
What I love about PJ is the love that she gives to everyone and the dedication that she has to everyone who comes in contact with her and wants to be her student.
PJ Van Hull is so unique because of the fact that everything she talks about, everything she shares with people, she lives. That's what you're looking for. If you want a star, if you want to coach a great mentor, she's someone that lives what she teaches.
How many of you want more money in your life? Raise your hand and say, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. And how many of you want more happiness in your life? Raise your hand and say, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. How about both? Raise both hands and say, oh yeah. So that's what the Prosperity Summit is all about. And I have to share with you that over the last few days, I have become so excited that I couldn't even sleep because I started realizing that I'm going to see Anya and Rich and all these people that may have signed up for the summit, over a year ago. I'm like, oh my God, I get to hang out with these really cool people, some of my best friends in the world over 4 days, and totally transform our relationship with money. So I got very, very, very excited, and I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're a part of it. Because the reason this started was with the question of what could I do to turn the economy around, right? So that's what we're up to. So when we support each of you in transforming your own personal economy, eventually that's going to have an impact on California, on the United States, on the world. Does that make sense? And a portion of the proceeds from this event are going to Kiva, which is an organization that supports women entrepreneurs in third world countries. So you guys are having a positive global economic impact already. Isn't that cool? So turn to someone, give high five, say you're a money magnet. Yeah. Yeah. Who's ready for some financial education? Say, oh, baby. Okay, get a clean piece of note paper. Draw this. Okay? So as you're going through your financial fountain this weekend and putting together your financial plan, these concepts are going to help you as you make decisions with your money in your life. This is going to make it very, very, very clear. Okay? So the cash flow in your life tells a story, right? By seeing the way someone's cash moves, you know whether they're rich, poor, or middle class. So this is your income statement. Income and expenses. And this is what's called your balance sheet. For those of you that aren't familiar with that, that's your assets and your liabilities. Okay? So does everybody know what income is? Okay, good. In this definition, we're going to say things you own. Like if you own your house, right? Or if you own your car, that would be, the bank would define that as an asset. And then we're going to take it one level beyond and say really focus on assets being things that put money in your pocket. So go like this, say assets put money in my pocket. Okay. Sure. Okay. Liabilities. What are liabilities? Another way to think about it is if you were to stop working today, your assets would feed you and your liabilities would eat you. Okay? So most people consider their house an asset, which is fine for doing loan applications. But for most people, if they have a mortgage, is that putting money in their pocket or taking money out of their pocket? Out. So in that definition, it would really be more of a liability, right? So just something to think about. So assets are things you own, liabilities are things you owe. Income, expenses. So we're clear on these? Okay. So what would the cash flow pattern of a poor person be? Yeah, so they have some money, and then they spend it all. So that would be the cash flow pattern. It flows in here, and then it flows out there. Yes? Okay. What would the cash flow pattern of a middle class person be? Okay. So it would come in the income category still, right? And then they might buy a house, a car, a boat, an RV. They start acquiring liabilities and having payments on things. And that goes out their expense column. Because middle class, you go to your banker and say, look, I'm paying all this money in taxes. And what do they tell you? Buy a bigger house, right? That's like the only tax advantage that's available is somebody with a W-2 in that world, right? So this would be the cash flow pattern of a middle-class person. So they get in debt, and then what happens is even though they're making a lot of money, they kind of get golden handcuffs a lot of times because now they have this huge lifestyle to support. How about a rich person? They also make some money, right? And then they spend they use at least some of that money to buy what? Assets. This might be rental real estate, it might be a private mortgage, right? Something that gives them money, right? That feeds them. And then what do those assets give them? More income. Oh. And then some of that income goes back to buying more what? Assets. And then those assets throw off more income. And then some of that income goes to buying more. Are you seeing this? How many of you want to get in here? Okay, you can. When does this start? Now. This starts now. You can get into this cycle right now if you're not already in it, right? And that's not to say that the rich people don't have any liabilities. Many of the wealthiest people in the world also have the most debt, right? It's called leverage. What's it called, please? Leverage. You just have to know how to use it correctly, right? So Frederick Lehrman was one of my main teachers in prosperity consciousness. He has a CD set called Prosperity Consciousness through Nightingale Conant, and I've been listening to it over and over and over for the last 9 years. So what's cool is they all start here, don't they? Which means this is the point of choice. This is the point of choice. Now, what's so incredibly cool about this is that means every time money comes into your life, you have the choice of whether you're going to be poor, middle class, or rich. Isn't that cool? Every time a dollar comes in, you have a choice. So, let's say you get $1,000 and you spend it. What are you choosing to be? Poor. Let's say you get $1,000 and you put a down payment on something and get a new loan. What are you choosing to be? Middle class. Let's say you get $1,000 and you invest it in something that gives you income. What are you going to be? You see?
You would have PJ on your stage because PJ is the type of person where she lights up a room. She walks into a room and all that tension goes on her because she commands the stage in a way that no other speaker I've ever met has.
If you're an organization that's looking for a dynamic speaker, PJ is the real deal.
People want PJ on their stage because PJ is a connector. She brings people from all walks of life, people with all different kinds of visions together to create a world vision.
If you're looking for a great keynote speaker and you want someone to take your audience from this level to the highest level, to the nth level, literally the energy, the flow, the feel, you definitely want PJ Van Hel because she brings it so much from the inside to help people create success on the outside.
A little lady by the name of PJ decided that she wanted to help people and change people's lives. And I know that you've done that for me. And I just want to tell you thank you.
I've seen a ton of speakers and a lot of people that have great knowledge and great content and yet not really dynamic. If you want somebody that has not only great content, also is going to make the entire room swoon, you got to book PJ for your next event. She is fun, she is funny, she's informative, and she's compelling everything you want in a speaker. Book PJ now.